peaches, and these would be like squash or something, right?
Peach.
Okay, lovely zucchinis. Okay.
I don't.
Right now, let's wait a minute. Let's not be fondling the zucchinis on the air. Okay, there we go.
Anyway.
All right, we've had.
Back to the acid cat of Gary McGee.
Oh, you mean shut my mouth over the?
No, just don't be handling. Someone may interpret that as as inappropriate. That's showing this squash. That's. You would have to come on and be a troublemaker.
John, there was actually
I'll take a peach.
a reporter that I'd seen on the TV
They're real
who had spent
fresh. I
time
just
going
picked them
through
last
Iraq
night, but they're
in the backwoods or wherever in
I'll
Iraq.
take one. Just
And
pull one out
he
and
was
throw it.
following stories of the
Thank you.
religious fanatics doing
I just
things to
see-
people.
yeah.
And some of them were killing shepherds because they refused to put diapers on their goats and their sheep. And one guy...
They were looking for a party. These guys were.
Right,
weren't they?
and one guy, his vegetable market was actually burnt to the ground, and I don't know if he was killed or beaten up or what he was, but they burnt his vegetable stand to the ground because he said the way he displayed his...
Inappropriate handling of squash. That's what I'm talking about. And we need to.
We need a law.
We need a law. It is people just can't be doing these kind of
I
things.
think in some circles it's called vegophilia.
I don't know. if it hurts you,
Vegophilia, right?
But I do
Or
remember
just
one time at
the feeling
ABCC
of the
soup
vegetable.
kitchen,
Yes.
I got a
Something
nice
like that.
blueberry
We'll have none of
pie
that, and I think there
cream
should be a
in a
law
blue
I
bowl
think
against
there
that I
should be a
didn't
law.
see until after I
protect
took my
good
first
people like me
big
and
swallow.
you
Right.
from
Talk about
people
color.
like her who do that.
Well,
Okay.
Well,
Is that why I
back in
like-
Tennessee, just in
No, I
the
don't know
last
about
few
this. I'm
months,
not eating the stuff.
watch for worms too.
The higher powers
I ate
that
one
be
today
the
and it was
state
like,
legislators,
ooh.
legislators,
I'll take it out. Here. Just give that back to you. I don't
decided
think the
that
peaches
they were
are going
going
to be this good.
to
The
go
library
for it
peaches are
and
just as
make
bad.
bestiality
small.
a
You know, that's
felony
how
instead
they're
of a misdemeanor.
They are good though, but
You'd
yeah,
think they'd have
they were
something
falling
better
off
to do,
way
but
early.
apparently
Well, they got to
not.
do something,
Poor
Okay.
things.
Anyway, so let me get back to this. So Gary McGee's cat would come to the back door. It was an outdoor cat mostly, and it would come to the back door, and it would
What's it
want
do, a
Gary's
paper
mom to feed it, and it would go
Just the blue.
meow, and
Different
a lot of
color?
times she would like ignore it. And if she ignored the cat for a while and the food bowl was empty, the cat would go, Gary, and Gary would go, it's the cat, and he'd jump up and he'd go feed the cat because he would hear that cat when it said Gary. It was like, oh, the cat has called me. I'll go feed the cat. So he fed the cat. We're teaching our cat to say hello. Tippa's getting pretty good, one of our cats.
I
And
thought maybe it was going to be where
Yeah.
his mother had come to the door and said, Gary. And he thought it
you
was
would
the cat.
think, well, it was kind of like that. It was kind of like hearing your mom in the
Blue dots?
distance going, Gary.
Yeah.
But it was the cat.
He, looked at
So
the,
then
camera
one day we're all
real
tripping,
close,
hanging out,
so you saw the
and Gary
background, the
had
blue
given the
dot
cat
was
some
very nice.
acid, as he often did. And we're sitting in the front yard, and all of a sudden here comes this well, the cat was like running around in the yard and like leaping into the air and going, "Meow," and we figured it was fighting like invisible demons and stuff that we couldn't see, and the cat was protecting us, and stuff.
Right.
It was cool, and we were digging it. We hadn't seen the cat for a while. We're sitting in the yard, and a German Shepherd came walking through the yard, just walking through the yard. We're sitting there, just like having a lovely, Saturday afternoon, and in the sunlight, and everything is just beautiful, and the grass is like just
Dancing.
marvelous. Yeah. And here comes a German Shepherd, and we're watching this German Shepherd walking through the yard, and out of a tree comes this cat. Wow, spread like this. It leaps on the no, it wasn't spread. It leaped on the back of the German Shepherd, right on the dog, and the dog went like all four legs went out, and then whoa, the dog was like terrified and ran away, and then the cat came, and the cat walked through the front yard like, look what I did. I ran off the German Shepherd. It's like strutted back and forth, and for a good while the cat would just strut. Just what I did. See the German Shepherd?
I used to have another cat story about some place you were staying and there was some young man trapped in the shower.
in the shower, yeah. That was
with a cat that wouldn't let him loose.
Yeah, that was true. So then after a while,
That's funny.
as the day went on and the sun went down and it's just like a beautiful sunset and stuff like that, and Gary says, wonder where the cat is, Anyway, the next day Gary called me up. He says, have you seen my cat, man? I'm like, no, because our backyards like connected, like catty corner, like the corner of our backyards touched. You know, so it's a neighborhood. He said, "Have you seen my cat?" And I'm like, "No." He says, "The cat didn't come home last night." You know, and I'm worried about my cat, man. You know, and so and like the later that day, I saw him. And he says, "I haven't seen the cat." You know, the next day. He was like, "Have you seen the cat, man?" I said, "No, I've not seen the cat." And he was like, "Oh," and he felt really bad. He said, "Man, I've given the cat acid, and the cat has run off and got lost, or the cat, got run over or something. And the cat is not here. It's like, and it's like it was the third day, and I went over there, and he's like, "Have you seen the cat?" And he said, "Like, I have not seen the cat." And I mean, and Gary was, like, you don't get a talking cat every day, and I've just, and he was feeling like guilt and all this about the cat, and we were sitting there, and after while we were watching TV or reading something funny or doing something, and we're sitting there, and at the back door we hear Gary, and Gary's like, "It's the cat, man, the cat's back." He was like, and the cat was back, but that was just the story, and the cat returned by coming to the back door and going, "Gary."
It's almost shamanic that cat disappeared for 3 days and came back changed.
Resurrected.
Oh, you ever heard that song? There's like a million verses
We'll see
of
you
it
guys.
about
The cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. Thought it was a goner, but the cat came back. Here's going to stay.
Are you giving out peaches, by the way, before you leave?
Yes, of variable quality.
Talking about the
Yeah.
Chicago.
Oh, can I-
Yeah,
They're-
see
They're
this?
real good.
On a
Yeah.
totally unrelated subject, this was brought to me when I
See
was
this right
interviewing
here?
Brian
I mean,
Kirk
they
That's
look
a
better.
fungus.
for my new episode.
So I
that
would
I'm
cut
editing
the
right now.
skin just
We
in case.
need
Yeah,
a
cut the
statue
But I've eaten
of
it.
Buckminster Fuller
Yeah.
in Asheville.
So,
I'm still alive.
In Black Mountain.
How long ago did you eat it?
area.
Well,
could be
we
in
need a
Asheville.
big statue of
When I
him
picked
somewhere.
them,
He
that's
deserves a
when I picked
statue
them
of some
up.
sort.
I
Last
agree.
night,
I
just
think that
watch,
the next time
where there might
that
be a hole.
let us suggest
Keep an eye on
the
them.
Mad Scientist Tea
Just
Party.
be aware that they're organic. I'm sorry, I'm out of here.
Okay.
see you later,
All right,
dear.
all right, I want
Thank
to
you.
put something to a vote. We can see the Mad Scientist Tea Party is an official thing, and we get our official nature all the way back to the Boston Tea Party and stuff. See, tea parties are of political importance, right? And we have one here, a tea party, and at our tea party we want to put things to a vote. And John and I want to put up for a vote. I make a motion that the next time that the city council or some major organization or political force wants to put up a statue of something in Asheville or Black Mountain or surrounding area, that they heavily consider Buckminster Fuller, a statue of Buckminster Fuller. And I would like to put this to a
Who
vote.
is that?
Huh?
Buckminster Fuller?
Yeah, I don't.
Among many, many, many other things, he invented the geodesic dome.
Oh,
He was also a teacher at Black Mountain College.
all right on.
And he's up there, like with Tesla, with Da Vinci, with Edison. I mean, he's one of the great minds of the modern age. I've been up there.
Right. He's the man who saw the geodesic dome in his mind's eye and said,
Yeah.
we could do this.
We could sell these to hippies in Arizona.
Right. And they could cover them with car hoods, and they'd be all different colors.
He was one of the first people to actually invent what is now called like a zero footprint house, in that it actually produces energy.
All right.
It doesn't actually suck up energy; it actually produces energy.
All right.
Well, that won't go far in this country.
That's a negative footprint house, isn't it?
Yeah, but he is amazing, the stuff he has come up with, and he deserves a lot more recognition than he has now.
Well,
And he lived here, not right here, but he lived in this
In
area.
Black Mountain, right down the road. You know where Black Mountain is, don't
yeah,
you?
vaguely. I've seen it on the map.
It's a few miles down the road,
imagine I've
not
been
far
there
at all.
once.
What is it? Is it 10 miles down the road? to
Probably
Black Mountain?
something like that, yeah.
Nothing.
Well, I
You
had
could
a-
easily ride your bicycle there.
Speaking of statues and stuff, years ago when I was here and, tourism was really, up and stuff, I thought it'd really be nice to, on top of the ridge overlooking downtown, to have a giant Godzilla statue, and maybe holding a double Ferris wheel so he was going back and forth like this. So overlooking downtown on the bridge, there'd be this giant Godzilla.
Holding a
with
double Ferris.
wheel, so you could sell tickets to ride on the Ferris wheel. So it'd be this giant Godzilla.
That would be a very
That would
interesting
work.
sight. I could.
Yeah, I think that would be a great statue for here in Nashville. You go Godzilla or something.
Well, we could just make it into a fire-breathing Buckminster Fuller, and that would work out
Well,
perfectly.
I thought of one that was sort of similar to that. The in Hollywood, the big letters that spell Hollywood.
Right.
I wanted them to build an apartment complex that spelled Asheville across the side of the mountain. In the decks with like the cross of the A would be a deck, and the top of the point of
I
the A
think it's
would
a
be a
very good
pointy
idea.
roof
Right.
and stuff
I like
like
that
that.
idea.
You see what I mean?
That'd be great.
And I wanted to say Asheville across the.
That would be great.
It'd be iconic.
Almost like the big building they're putting up on Broadway down the street across from what used to be the Pink House, which is not anymore. It's an interesting, huge building.
It is an interesting, huge building. It's almost like a play set, really. You get the
Yeah.
feeling that you could make it very small and open up a door and put marbles through. They roll around and come out the other end or something.
What
like that.
is it?
It's
this
this.
huge apartment.
Well, it's not even. It's a condo, mixed use condo sort of thing.
Oh, the new one they're putting up across the street from the Pink House.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, uh-huh.
And now they're planning, I guess, on putting. I think I just saw it in the.
I think they should run. I think they should run like sort of a bridge over the road to the Pink House and continue the.
Oh, yeah.
They're planning something in the Pink House and surrounding, another thing like that. It's a high.
Have you seen those habitats they make for hamsters?
Right.
Yeah.
Habit trails.
Yeah.
Habit trails. Yeah.
Well, see, that's why I think
yuppie
we should
trail.
Metro and go to
Hamster
something like
dap.
Carowinds, Six Flags, and have them take the city and design it as not only a city but as a ride. All right, you gotta go to work.
City is a ride.
Yeah,
But we're getting
I mean,
closer
you
to
gotta go to work,
Disneyland
right?
around here
To
every
encourage
day.
you from
Right.
you
See,
driving
I'm not
your
gonna
own
get
car,
any
you
more painted,
go
but I
up,
got
say
something
you top of your
to show.
building,
I
and
made
you
some
get on this
progress.
little
Yep.
Looks a lot better.
ramp with a chair, and it just where are you going to, and then just program it in.
Oh, there was some guy up at the Minnesota State Fair a few years back that was designing and had there at the fair his design, and there were some all like 2-person or 3-person modules that would ride on a light rail attached to the side of buildings above sidewalks, so you could have
Oh,
your.
yeah.
So it was like these little personal, light rail car things,
Right.
and he had
That
them
would be very
demonstrating at the
And
fair.
all you'd have to do is with the technology we got now with remote control, all you'd have to do is on the front of yours, you program in where you're going.
Let's
So let's
just
say you
share
come
for
to
a
a
second.
splitter, right?
Right.
Well, it knows you're going left, so it automatically sends a signal which sets the rail left. So boom, you automatically go that direction. And say the person behind you is going to go to the right, so when you go through, his remote tells him, nope, I'm going right. And it would work.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the technology to give us the things that we were promised 40 years ago.
Oh, we do have the Dick Tracy
I
watch.
assume you're.
Oh yeah, we finally got that.
We have the
I assume
communicators.
you're part of the "Where's My Flying Club."
Where's my
Flying
where's my
Club.
treadmill that I can walk with no rails and
Right. Well, evidently, I think the biggest thing holding up the whole flying car is not the actual physics, not the actual engineering. It's the traffic control.
Yeah.
How do you
could you see road rage up there?
Right.
Well, I think that's a great opportunity. I think the man who develops a good municipal air traffic control system, so that you can all the flying cars or whatever
Right.
that actually come into it, get into that net, and you can make them all go the right way. That's what's really going to let the whole flying car era come about.
Did you see that movie? I think it was Bruce Willis. He was like a
Oh yeah,
cab
Fifth
driver.
Element. Fifth Element.
Ah,
well,
yes,
the
Fifth
Fifth
Element,
Element,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, there goes my
That
another
was
point.
psych.
Those movies, what?
Whoa, that was crazy.
It was a very good movie.
Yeah,
I
it
had a
was
great
crazy.
time.
Yeah, I don't see much movies, but that was mind-boggling.
And
Speaking of
Yeah,
mind,
especially how a
Jovovich.
person can fall that far and crash to a taxi and still survive.
speaking of mind-boggling, I just want to throw this out one more time. Because this
That
is my
you're gonna be
last.
under the tree, right?
Yeah, this is my last show in Asheville. I'm leaving Sunday morning on my bicycle for Nashville, Tennessee, and then on to St. Paul, Minnesota.
And people that want to say goodbye to you.
Right, goodbye to me, or if you want last chance at one of my trinkets, that will be worth millions when I'm dead, and
You
for a
can't.
small
You're not allowed to
contribution.
sell things on the.
I don't sell things.
Promote the selling
I
things.
accept
Love
contributions as an
offerings.
artist. I never
If
price
anyone
myself.
wants to see your works for the last
Right.
time or say goodbye to you on,
Right.
on your way out of town.
Yes, indeed. And then I've been invited by some folks up to a demonstration concerning the issues of poverty and homelessness in the United States and why.
And where will this
And,
be held?
Oh, it's going to be outside. I don't know if the demonstration will be in Minneapolis. I know the conventions are supposed to be in St. Paul. It's supposed to be a very large demonstration, and I imagine there will be
Which
anarchists
convention
from
is
all.
this? The homeless convention?
Yeah, well, it's the
this the-
Republican National Convention.
Ah,
You're
the
going
RNC.
up to
The RNC.
represent us outside of the Republican National Convention.
Yeah, and of course, I'm not homeless. I live on planet Earth. I just don't have a permanent address.
You have a very
and-
large yard.
Yeah, and
Can-
it wouldn't be a
can-
bad place for all the darn humans.
Can we look? Can we look upon you as our representative to this?
Sure, if you want. No, I'll try to maintain my integrity and my decorum, and I'll try
If
not
you
to
could just
say.
do something-
And please keep the pinky out.
I'll try not to say bad words.
And if you could do something
Watch your
particularly
mouth and keep
outrageous,
your
say this
pinky
is from
out.
Asheville, we would really appreciate it.
Well, I do have a large anarchist flag, and we will be.
I understand the anarchists
Why
are doing a big showing for the RNC convention. But
Yeah,
But you
it's-
didn't bring it with you, did you?
No, I left it in Nashville.
Next time, bring it.
Well, maybe. I'm if I survive this journey. Because if you've seen any of the footage from I think the G8 conference in
Yeah, they got
Miami a
kind
few
of
years ago,
hardcore there.
they kind of were killing people, and the local media, the local
Do you fear
professional
for
media.
your life? Do you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely so.
Well,
I mean, every time you open your
you've
mouth
been-
in this country,
you've
you
been
fear for your
fighting-
life.
You've been fighting for freedom as a Marine and right on.
Well,
how
like
many
yeah,
years now?
like say, in the Marine Corps, I was sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States from enemies without and from within. So, for the last 16 years, as an act of art, act of resistance, I've been fighting for the Constitution of the United States from enemies within.
Speaking of enemies within, have you heard about this false flag Northwood Gulf of Tonkin thing they were considering with Iran? Evidently, and I haven't really read much about it because, well, when stories get that unbelievable, I wait till they get digested a couple of days.
Right.
But evidently, there's some talk that there was some high-level plan involving Cheney. Well, Cheney was like,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was mentioned.
doubt.
That's what I heard. I heard the people that were.
Satan.
Yeah,
Cheney.
I heard that the people that were privy to that
Yeah.
plan said, they said it wasn't really a plan. They said it was mentioned.
It was mentioned over.
Anyway, what was mentioned was the idea of getting these Marines
Right.
dressing up as Iranian soldiers, shooting at them
Right.
after they had gone into
Right.
our territory, and then blaming everything on Iran and using it as a pretext to go to war with Iran.
Right.
That sounds like our country.
It
I heard
sounds.
they were going to put them on PT boats or something and paint them up to be
Iranian.
Probably.
yeah.
And then shoot them out of the water and kill them.
Well, I don't think that part was. I
No,
think they were just
because
like
then they
fired
would-
their
Oh yeah, they
heads.
said they couldn't do it because it would involve having American military firing on American military.
Yeah, that never
And,
happens.
and that was, and
No such thing as friendly fire.
It's not really friendly, I don't think.
To
But
which some people speculated that Cheney might have said, so.
Yeah.
well, I had a plan, way back, and this will fall in with the Republican National Convention and illegal immigrants and war with Iran and everything else. Take the illegal immigrants, give them some cheap uniforms, probably made by their own relatives in sweatshops throughout Central and South America. Give them cheap
Or
weapons
America
and
itself.
send them either up to Iraq and Iran to fight our war for us, or use them to invade Mexico. Because
Sure.
Mexico's got oil, they speak the language, the infrastructure's there.
Right.
So, I'll have to give that to the Cheney
Yeah.
You know
party.
that the Chinese dress soldiers up in monks' robes
Oh, sure.
and
The
call
CIA
riots.
sometimes, or the Fed sometimes dresses anarchist punks and throw
Yeah.
Molotov cocktails at the police just for an
I-
excuse to shoot kids down.
I know, no. I know. I have
Right.
been there. I have
Yeah.
been. I have seen it happen, and I was arrested for throwing the bottle.
Right.
And the guy who arrested me was the plainclothes cop that
Who
came
threw the bottle.
that came out of the crowd from behind me somewhere roughly the area the bottle came from. It's
Right.
my guess that it was the guy who threw the bottle. So I know how well they
Right.
did this. And this is personal experience.
Right.
Well,
I like to share.
we all know the counter intel pros that they do, but to have this sort of thing come out in national media, that's mind-boggling.
Don't believe anything you hear on TV.
Well,
Cal.
but B, that nothing. I expected just a bit more. It's a bit higher blip in the radar if they're
Right.
planning a Gulf of Tonkin, and
Planning
you knew that
in
beforehand.
November, December.
You'd think there'd be a bit more hue and cry.
Because they know our society, we're a bunch of sheep that's drugged to sleep.
Right.
Besides,
They know-
half
they-
us believe we should nuke Iran
This
anyway.
country right now can pretty much do anything.
Religion
American
is the-
public
is
is
the
not going to get up off
opiate
their
of the
butts and do
masses.
anything. Because it means
you agree with
I
that?
may lose my job.
Exactly.
The right religion.
Not the left.
No.
All the American public cares about now is how much money they're making. They don't care who's in power.
Oh,
as
if
long
they
as it
truly
doesn't
cared
affect
about
their
that, they'd be
paycheck.
up and running.
Right.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
I have something I like to share every now and then, and I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna have to run my things really soon, so I kind of have to do a wrap up here. But I think you'll appreciate this. I was looking at the money. You know that we had our money. You may have noticed our money's been going through changes. What the $5 bills look like and stuff
Changes
like
every
that.
week.
Right, and you know this money. If you're an artist, and you know that our money is designed by and created by highly skilled artists
Right.
who work really hard to engrave those first plates and stuff like that. These are some talented people who put in some long hours working under a microscope. You know how hard they work at doing this, and they do a lovely job of it. And part of the job of an artist in reality, in a society, is to reflect to the society, to hopefully cause society to think, you know, and to you know, and these people are no different than that. And I was looking at the money, and I was thinking, what are these artists saying to us? You know, and I figured it out from the girl in the grocery store. She says, "Well, all the money just looks like play money."
Right.
And I said, "That's what they're trying to tell us. They're
Right.
telling us it's
Play money.
They're like, we'll make it look like play money, and because they
Yeah.
know it's just being printed. I understand we're having them printed in China now. That's what I was told. I don't know.
Possibly.
You know, but
Oh God! Speaking of play money and stuff, I heard rumor a long time ago that when Reagan was selling illegal weapons of mass destruction to Iran, that they were actually paying with $100 bills that were real $100 bills, but the plates had been stolen and they were printing them in Tehran. So I don't know if there's rumor.
and Reagan was paying.
And the Iranians were printing the real $100 bills in Iran and paying for the missiles and whatnot that Reagan was selling him illegally.
with counterfeit money.
Well, it was real money.
It was real
They
money,
had
but with
stolen
stolen
the real
plates,
plates.
yeah.
And that was part of the reason why apparently they went to those large
Wait,
figures.
wait. How do you make real money with stolen plates?
Well,
it's
I mean,
still counterfeit, even
it's-
if you use the original plates without
Right.
authorization of our government to print
Right.
it. It's still counterfeit.
But
Right.
they're
There's
authentic.
very good counterfeit.
Yeah,
Well,
they're very good in
You
that.
mean it was counterfeit made with
With
The
real plates.
real plates?
Real plates stolen from wherever they
Yeah, because
print money.
because they also have to have the real
But
paper
you really
too.
didn't need to do that because the fact is they can just print up what they need now, and that's what they do. Anyway,
That was just
so
a rumor. So
we have things that we come up with, and it's a scientifically we have scientifically proven facts that we deal with on the Mad Scientist Tea Party. One of the it's a scientifically proven fact that things are a lot more like they are now than they ever have been.
here.
It's an axiom for the ages.
Yes.
And okay, it's a scientifically proven fact that things are more like they are now than they ever have been. And just in a few minutes, I have an end roll that I need to roll, which includes, you see, what we've had an informal vote on best show promotion made, you know, like spot for a
Right.
show. You're the winner, you know that.
Okay.
Have you heard that before from around?
I think I did. Yeah. I'm actually think I need to make a new one.
Well, yeah.
It's been running for a while.
Well,
sure.
everybody likes this one pretty good.
Well, you can always make new. And
Yeah, I gotta come up with one.
Okay. And so, what is John? Can you remember any of the other scientifically proven facts? It is a scientifically proven fact that if there is something moving on the screen and noise coming out of the box,
People will watch.
people will sit and watch it. That's right.
And the best thing about TV, if something gets too scary or controversial, you can always turn it off.
You can always turn it off. And you know what? I highly recommend that you do so.
I don't have a TV
I'm wondering,
myself.
could we get you to? This is your last day here.
Do you want the spot again?
No, this is your last day here. This is our last fleeting moments with you before I
Right.
run my credits. Okay?
Okay.
And then my credits are gonna come up and show. Do you have your trouser snake with you? Today. Do you have
It's not finished.
Okay, but do you have
But
it
it's a
with you?
snake,
Could,
yeah.
would you be so kind as to pull out your trouser snake for us and show it while I get the end roll together here,
Well-
and just sort of dangle it in front of that camera if you would. Show,
It's just a copper chainmail snake. It's not finished. Doesn't have a head on it yet or a tail.
That's very cool, nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
The last one I made was 5.5 feet long, where I could wrap it around my waist like a belt on a bathrobe and tie it in a knot. And,
I've often wanted to have a belt
yeah,
that was a snake,
yeah,
but you could like twist the head so that the fangs clamp down on the tail,
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
into a belt. I
right,
was thinking
yeah.
do something like that.
I've done belts similar, only not a snake. It was just chainmail, but had like one big hook that hooked on and
Right.
through the rings and stuff.
Good morning. Welcome to the Pleasure Saucer. Always try theater in a crowded fire. Always try theater in a crowded fire.
Yeah, I expect you to be watching my back here. We can say goodbye to
Goodbye, everybody.
to everybody out there yeah, you want to show your blue spot? I bet you already got rid of it, didn't you? Oh, I didn't.
It's just blue.
Just blue. It's just blue. Things are not always what they appear.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're just a blue spot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, I might make it back to Asheville again someday.
Well, make it not so long. And Duke can bring us a good report from the convention, and we're off the air.
Okay.
That means,
Perfect timing too.
it was a fabulous show, wasn't it? And understand that I'm gonna get all kinds of heat. I mean,
Well, you
but-
silly ass. I didn't,